ทุนเรายังรู้ตัวลินตุนุตียีช่องเจโกยีช่องเชื่อใจต่ออีจงใช้ชื่อเดติละใช้ชาวชัวมงกูอยากรู้จะว่าหรือว่าแต่ชินากูยังโดนดงแซมโพเซเมโซตาส่วนสินากูจะเป็นมือใช้ชาวเก็บขินทัวจอนเดเปรุเชิญจากโตยังโดนดงแซมโพเซเมโซตายังลีส่วนสินากูจะเป็นมือใช้ชาวโดกินอ
This is a long time coming activity or event. I remember first moved to the east side back in the early 90s and always wanted to pursue something like this. It never happened. Each time I go to District 2 meeting or run into council member Bostrom, I always think about what can we do with all these vacated or unused tennis court. So each time I ask, they always have planned for the tennis court. For example, we have the Saket tennis court, still unused today. And obviously we have the Johnson Parkway in Maryland tennis court that has to be redone and reduced more so. So I think that with all the cooperation or teamwork of both community, our elected official, this is a long time coming, so we're happy that it happens and it happens now. So thank you all for being here. Just a quick rundown of what we have in store for you guys today. We're going to have hear a few speeches from the member or team member that make this possible, both from the civic side or the citizen side and elected officials offices. So just bear with us and you get to hear from them, as well as we're going to have a little short presentation of give. It's always a way of giving thanks for people that make this event possible and this court possible. And then we'll close with another dance with an older age group, a young lady. We'll be closing with the dance. And if you have your Saturday free, stay with us after the reception. We're going to have demonstration by the players. So if any of you curious whether you could still kick the ball or you just want to feel how it's like to have one other ball hit you in the head, please stay with us, all right? So with that, I'd like to introduce the chair of the Sepak Takraw USA, one other partner that make this event possible. And with that, I'd like to invite Professor Lee XIONG.
I'd like to invite my board members to come up here too, all the people in the nice cool blue shirts. So, Jeremy from California, yeah. So these are the folks that are part of the Sepak Takraw of USA, and so on behalf of the Board of Directors, I wanted to thank all of you, particularly our dignitary and the community and the players and the media for being here today. This is a long time in coming. As the name basically said that, we've been talking about this for a long time. The Hmong community have moved to Minnesota for about 43 years. And so it took us 43 years to get to this point. But I think it's better now than never, right? And it's wonderful that, when we started this initiative, our plan was to build a couple courts here in the on the east side here, but we ended up with 5 courts. And now we're having conversation with the city of Minneapolis as well, and they're doing a area planning, park planning process at the in the city of Minneapolis. And we'll most likely will be building a couple courts in Minneapolis as well. So this is the revolution. Minnesota have always been the start of revolutions, right? And as former Representative Saito mentioned, Minnesota is the capital of the Hmong world, and it doesn't get that way with the support of without the support of our dignitaries. Many of our legislators here, many of our policymakers, and I'm looking at even the former state representative Steve Trimble sitting there. Have been a strong supporter of the Hmong people throughout the years. But Bill George in his book True North, he said that people who are able to achieve things are people with passion, right? And they're with passions, focused, and then also people with compassion for the players, for the people, right? And so, as you can see, many of us, our stomach, we think that we can jump, but we can't jump anymore. So we used to be, players in the young days, but now our body tells us that you better not jump, Li Pao. But if we can't do it, we can help the younger generation do it, right? In the old days, we played in the fields, and wherever you go in some of the public parks in St. Paul, in Minneapolis, if you see grass that's all torn out and everything, all bared, it's because either volleyball or katal. And so now we have a place to play, and so compassion for us, right? But compassion for the players, and then humbleness, right? So there's a couple of people that I think fit all of this, and certainly Gao Cheng, he's the head. He does most of the work for us, and we get all the glory. He does most of the work, and it was his passion. He approached us a couple of years ago. He asked Li Pao, would you be on the board and will you chair this thing? And I said, well, there are a lot of players that can do this, but we put a good team together, great group of people. And George Latimer once said that if you are going to be successful, you need people with wit, right? And you need people with wealth, and need people with warmth. And I think we have all of that here. All of that here on this board. That's why we're able to do this. The other thing is, Kathy Coram, another great person for us. Gao continued to meet with her, and she continued to meet with us even after hours, right? 5 o'clock, it was like, let's meet at 5 o'clock, and she's able to meet with us and help us push this whole thing through the Park and Rec Department in the city. And then the St. Paul Park Conservancy, with Garth. And he's also a strong supporter. They're also a strong supporter of this. And so we are a 501c3, but not registered yet. And so Park Conservancy said, let's do it. And it's a great project to invest in. So thank you for doing that as well. And so those are I call it the relationship building people, right? And then the political support. It's always great to be able to sit down with a lot of our policymakers on the east side of St. Paul. And the door is always open for us. And certainly, Senator Fong He, he's been with us for a long time. And supporting Takraw. And another name of his is the Tulu Court over there, right? And so now we have Tulu, we have Kato here, right next to each other. So when we approach him, he said, yeah, I'll go to the state legislature and get some money. And so he's been able to do that. And then we have Council Member Dan Bostrom as well. A strong foundation on the east side, basically a strong, solid foundation on the east side of St. Paul. And we met with him and approached him, and he also contributed financially to the construction of this. And then Commissioner Jim McDonald. Unfortunately, he something came up for him, but he's also a strong supporter of this. And we were surprised when we sat down with him. We thought, we're going to get minimal support in terms of financial dollars, and he came through with a significant amount of money. We're like, whoa, okay, we like that. We like that. So also Commissioner Jim McDonald, who represented this district. So this whole east side legislative delegations have been a strong supporter of the Sepak Takraw and the court here. So thank you for doing that. And then also District 5 with Antina Hollins. In the city of St. Paul, they organize neighborhood by district. And so we approached them and didn't have any problem at all. They supported. They said, this is great, love it, let's do it. And that's how we were able to get this through the planning division and also with Park and Rec. So then, of course, with all of this, we wouldn't be successful without the support of our Hmong funders. So we have a lot of Hmong funders, like for example, today, King Thai, Destiny Cafe, and Hmong Village contributed to our lunch today. Yeah. And so, bây giờ Hmong cháu tu lạc tu lụa nè, lịch của hai I'm gonna say Hmong. Bây giờ Hmong tu lạc tu lụa, thọ tiêu bé một thọ chân lợi thì là những ba bé chứ. Giờ họ nói gì họ cũng bỏ để bé Hmong ship ba tới ship sao hay lịch của ta cũng cho hai tàu họ TV interview của thế thì lấy bé một nói chi thì lần chai bé cho nó là giờ phụ bé cho nó lần chai bé cho Hmong when nhau behind bé, yeah. Thì lúc nào bé tiếng mua cháu tôi là coi gì xịn tôi là thế. Thank you very much for the 18 council representatives for being here, and forget also to mention and Senator Jeff Sessions is also here, so thank you for and so basically bé cho Hmong support bé cho Hmong cho nó cho hòa thế chỉ ta là cho tu lạc tu lụa là gì cho chơi bé chấp lời nhau nó thế. So they cho they rồi bé cho team là mu play là you know, whenever we go compete, it's the Hmong business leaders that provided the uniform for us, right? Or they contributing towards the airplane cost for us to go and compete in Thailand, in Malaysia. So just so you know, we compete all over the world, and our goal is basically to develop players, to develop teams, to develop leagues, and then eventually when this sport becomes an Olympic sport, the team that will be representing the United States of America will be from St. Paul, Minnesota, right? And they will bring back the gold medal, right? Because we've demonstrated that in Thailand and Malaysia by bringing back medals, right? Either gold, silver, or you know. And so that's our goal there, okay? So without all of the support, this probably would not have been possible. And of course, thank you to the community for always being here and always supporting us. Whether it's Hailalu, you know, whether it's commenting on our Facebook post and say, "Oh, that's wonderful, that's great." But at the top, that's already supporting us in our effort and encouraging us to move on. So with that, I wanted to thank you. This is a very beautiful day. It's a great day for us to do this grand opening, and it's wonderful to see everyone here, particularly all of our supporters and our dignitaries. So thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, we've listed overall most of the supporters on this list. So those of you media who wanted to take a look at that, you're free to do that as well.
All right, next up we have Garth Morissette from St. Paul Park Conservancy. They play an integral part of this partnership, and without them, this would not happen. So welcome, Garth.
Thank you. My name is Garth Morissette with the St. Paul Parks Conservancy, and we're really excited to be part of this project. I'm the board chair, and I want to recognize some board members that we have here. I think Annie Heidekoper is here. Mike Hom is the Parks Director, is also on our board. Are there any other board members from the Conservancy? All right. Yes, Colleen. Well, thank you very much. This has been a really great project for us to be involved with. We participate with many projects around St. Paul, raising private funds to help with the public-private joint partnership, and we couldn't do this without our partner, the Sepak Takraw USA team. So we thank you for being inviting us to be members of this project. I also want to recognize our funders in this project. The U.S. Bank Places to Play program donated money, along with the Butler Family Foundation, and then also the McNeely Foundation. We have a couple of members from the McNeely Foundation over here, so thank you very much. They support projects on the east side of St. Paul. And this is really exciting. It's the Parks Conservancy works across St. Paul, and we try to raise money for projects where there's a need, and this was definitely a place where we saw this, and it was a no-brainer for us to get involved with this project. It's such a cool community and cultural addition to the east side, and we're excited to watch it grow and to be the leader in helping support this sport. And maybe Minneapolis will join us. It sounds like they're going to possibly get involved in this too. So that's really cool for us to be leaders in this. And we're excited to see the demonstration today. When we were here earlier, a couple of months ago, Kyle Rudolph from the Vikings was here. They were part of the U.S. Bank project, and he was really tall. He kicked the ball around a little bit, and I'm going to try today to see what I can do. But the one thing I like about this sport is anybody can play. It's not just these guys that are going to be showing us how to play. They're kind of professional, but anybody can play this sport. And I'm hoping that young women get involved, young girls get involved in this sport, and that it becomes something that the whole community can come and watch and be part of the whole cultural process. So thank you very much for letting us be part of this today.
Speaker I'm going to introduce, he got involved with this, and the Tulu, obviously, a while back when he was just a poor fisherman, fishing around Lake Phelan, I think and the boundary water. But he's a friend, a relative, and we started this long time ago, and we approached Senator Mimua. She helped us a little bit, but nothing came out of it until he got elected to the Minnesota Senate. That he was able to come back and said, you know, let's complete what we started. And I'm happy to be a relative of his, a friend, and now a colleague in the Takraw sport. So let's all welcome the Honorable Senator Phong He.
Thank you very much, Senator, for a good introduction. When you mentioned a fisherman, then that's my cue already. When you say fisherman or someone who do lake cleanup, then I know it's me. I had to get up so I can walk up to the stage here, to the podium here. But welcome everybody. I'd like to give special thanks to my colleague in the House, also Representative Leon Lilly is here, and also Representative Peter Fisher. You know, they've been a good partner with me. Fought very hard, and they're also our sport enthusiasts too. They're a great partner, going all the way, double down and thick and thin with me, you know, in the legislature. And also, I want to thank the Sepak of USA Committee, Mr. NENG, Professor Li Pao, and Sergeant Gao Zhang, and also Officer Steve Herr. Thank you for your leadership. St. Paul Conservancy, the City of St. Paul, and all the partners. And also 18 Clan, and special thanks for former Representative Steve Trimble. Thank you for being here. You inspired me back in the days when you introduced a bill to make the license plate for the Hmong veteran. That inspired me to run for office, so thank you for being here. You're my mentor. And I'm happy to see everyone here together to celebrate the grand opening of the first Sepak court in St. Paul. And I think it's the first public Sepak court in the nation, right? Yes. All right. So let's applaud big time for that. And I know, as I said earlier, that our Minnesota community has been talking about having this kind of recreation, like the Katok court here and the Tulu court over there, back in the late 1990s. And there has been many factors why it takes us this long to get here. Nearly 20 years to get them built. And 20 years is a long time. It can push many of you who were skillful Katok player in your younger days to pass your prime, like what Li Pao said earlier. And even an aficionado like myself who just want to build recreational field for people, my interest had already gone cold. But thanks to some of you who came to my office after I took the Senate in 2013 and asked for support, I was reminded of the connectivity this game can bring our community together. And at the same time, the potential for our young players to excel in the international sport arena. After all, the best Kato players are here in Minnesota. And I know that every time Team Minnesota set their foot on the court, the other side would tremble. Am I right on that?
Yes.
All right. And that's a pride that I want for us. And that's a pride that I want for Minnesota. And would you like that too? Yeah. All right. And it was that notion of pride that motivated me to get funding, to find partners, like Representative Leon Lillian, Representative Peter Fisher. And although it takes us a while, what mattered most is that we had them done. We have it here. And there's 3 here, and there's 2 at Delaware, Maryland. And much credit go to the Sepak of USA for your persistence and also your determination. Now these Katoa field will be here for everyone, especially our new generation and beyond. May the players who come here improve their skill many-fold, as well as having good friendship and good sportsmanship. May everyone have good exercise at the playground, be injury-free, and share this court among players of different backgrounds, fairly and equally. And I know you will do that. I look forward to see more success from here and more champions to be made. Have fun and take good care of this court as well as the surrounding environment and keep them clean. Now I'm going to switch to Hmong for a little bit. Nhớ rong sốt là nu nó rong chạy rong nhong cái biết tôi chỉ sau ok. Tôi khi lu bé lu tàn giờ cái to nó ha chỉ một ở lu nhớ cho tỏ Maryland ha đèo. Cũng một chú mong cứ tàu sở chế cho bé sinh phố phử nhớ sang East Side nó ha sở chế cho bé sinh phố phử nhớ cho lúc sinh Minnesota nó. Tôi một phiên chỗ lu băng ha lu cổng lu chỉ trang tới theo xí nó cứ mua mong mua phiên chỗ nhớ cho hồ ha giờ mong lại tình tù. Nu nó cứ bé khi lu tàn giờ cái to nó thọ cổ bé chỗ một cái thay nhang sinh một cái phong cái dư một cái nó cá nhớ rồng chỉ đang là có ý lệnh bao ý lệnh một cái xi băng hay một cái hữu sinh chỉ đang là có bé mong lu công lu mình cứ cho cứ lô nó có bao tết chủ chỉ là còn thốt láng chỉ hà có bé lu công mình bao thông thế channel nó sẽ chỉ có bé lu công mình bao thông lu can tù nó. And I have one simple, small idea. You know, we always want to make a tour guide, Hmong tour guide. You know, a tour guide could be a page or 2 pages you flip around with map. You know, a couple of years ago, we may not have enough location to put it there, maybe just 1 or 2. But today, you know, we have location like Hmong Charter School, many Hmong Charter School, as well as, you know, Hmong Village, Hmong Town, and the Veteran Memorial, Nhớ Chỗ Lu VANGLUE. Nhớ chỗ vang hồng chế kinh, không đợi một chỗ trả tàn đào tu lu, một chỗ lu vang phong dư, cứ mong một phiền chỗ nhớ chỗ hú chỉ tàn đợi chờ các to lên nó, một chỗ trả cứ man khong night market, ham đòn đào yang,แต่ฉันเจ้าchỗ bé ô lu cứ ít lại panเป็ดเลยcứ rong ấy, thọ từ bé tô cha béเจ้าละtô phô chữ lạiละchỗ chỗ xiong bé chế chỗ béเจ้าphong dư cứ tô chẳng lá tô hát chế chỗเจ้าphong dư cứ họ chỉ bao chỗ mong,แต่ฉันchỉ nhỏ cứ bé pi ôi khăn rồi yêu用gì nữa nói, cứ sáng khai họ chỉ nó cho mình chỉ sư bây giờ tàu tây giang này nó giờ lên từ ta ô chỉ tàu giàu nó là gì mình tô bây tôi họ tàu cho chơi là lên nó lên từ ta ô chỉ chỗ lú chế yêu khứ khăn nó ha là họยังไม่เล่นหนูไม่กับจีต้นจีกูฮะติดตัวไปถูกแล้วโอ้จีตรงเก้าเจ้าgì mình đem hồ ô họ cha bây tôi họ tàu cho chơi họ là tan tàu tôi lúc là tôi dạng tôi cho chơi nó bên chỉ tàu cho hồ cứ họ chỉ chơi giờ bên họ tàu là chỉ tao nói giờ mấy món là lý trí lắm trí nó là mấy họ tôn trí cũ ấy bây họ chỉ mong chỉ khu lúc đấy lúc chơi nó chỉ là dạng tạm đấy họ cũng chơi trang nó đấy chơi có mong cho một cái xí lu một cái hữu sinh có cho lô là một cái giao kiến chế một cái cần đau ha có sốt là một lúc pro sa lu xí công tệ ở tàu tây dạng chuyển lên nó ha chỉ tao nói băng một lúc sa băng cho lử băng bờ. And this is exciting time for the East Side St. Paul. As a matter of fact, not just the Dulu field, but we're going to have a, you know, nature interpreter center, the Wankan TP Center down Lower Finland Creek. We're going to have a lot of amenity improvement here in the east side. We're going to have, you know, Conway Rec, soccer dome, and we're going to have, you know, soccer field in Highwood Hill for the Somali community. So this is exciting time for the east side St. Paul, you know. And I was asked by my fellow Senate member about what's different between the east side here, this Senate District 67, and those in the rural area like Senate District 1. You know, I said, you know,
the challenging part for the district one is that you have to drive to one town. Each town is 2 hours away, and but I don't envy you at all when you go from town to town having 21 parades. But the challenge part for me is that we have multicultural community. How do we break into that bubble? So this is an exciting time for the east side of St. Paul, and we're gonna try to intermingle with each other in different culture. We're gonna break into those culture bubbles, and everybody gonna come here and play Takraw together, whether you're black, white, Somali, Oromo, Latino. We're gonna be here together, and we're gonna enjoy the nature down there at the Wankan TP Center at the Lofeng Creek Project. We're gonna play soccer together at Conway Rec. We're gonna also play soccer together with the Somali community at Highwood Hill area. So I just want to relay that to you, that this is exciting time. We're just going to make it happen. Our economy is good. We just need to add more single housing or multiple housing at all those empty lots, and we'll be okay, but this is just the beginning. So thank you very much for being here.
All right, next up we have the Honorable Ramsey County Commissioner Jim McDonough, but like our chair Li Pao alluded to earlier, he has some other business to attend to, and he's unable to be here with us today. But could everybody give him a big round of applause? Thank you, Commissioner. Just to show how much he's interested, we canceled a meeting on him. We set the meeting, but we canceled on him about 3 times, and he still show up, and he still deliver. And then that's when we learned that this properties we are sitting on today is sitting on both city and county property. So thank you so much for Commissioner McDonough for your willingness to work with us on this. Next up, we have the Honorable Council Member Dan Bostrom, representing this district, Ward 6.
Well, thank you and welcome everyone. It's just really a delight to be here on this beautiful, it's hard to tell if this is a fall day or a summer day, and we're somewhere in between. I'd like to see the summer last for about 3 more months, but I don't think it's going to quite work out that way. Well, this truly is the culmination of a lot of really, really hard work, dedication, and cooperation to make this happen. I got involved with this a few years ago when I got a call from my son, Matt, who was the Ramsey County Sheriff at the time, and he said he had this young fellow who was a deputy that had some ideas about some kind of a court somewhere in the city of St. Paul, and he'd like to talk to me because he needed city support and probably needed a little money. Well, anyway, I said, well, send him in and let's see what happens. Well, the fellow that appeared came in as a deputy sheriff's outfit, Gao Chang, and of course, as he appears in that, he's pretty impressive looking, and you want to give him the appropriate amount of time. Well, he gave us quite a spiel on what he was envisioning for this, and I really hadn't heard of Katal before, so I really wasn't aware of what this was all about and the depth of it, and quite an explanation. Well, as time went on, and we figured this sounds like a great idea, was taken up with the city, and there were different discussions about where this site could actually be located and different playgrounds around the city. And as we looked at that list, I use the term, we weren't particularly overwhelmed by the potential sites. And one of the things that really drove this site was the fact that we already had the Tulu courts over here and opened those about 3 years ago, and they've been very, very successful. And now if we could build on that success and create a destination, among destination over here at Case Duluth. And again, I'm a little bit biased towards this site, I guess is probably the term to use. Is as a kid, I grew up just 3 blocks from here, up at Earl and Case. That's where I grew up. Some of my best friends actually lived right here when this used to be the Quonset hut village over on the east side back in the 40s and 50s for returning veterans from World War II. And I remember when those Quonset huts dominated this entire area over here. They were taken away, then the playground eventually came, and it's always been very, very close to my heart because of all the long-time relationships we had with the people over here. Well, this is, of course, a new day, new excitement, and something that, of course, when I was a kid, you never heard of anything like this before. And I'm just delighted to see all the excitement in the air. But folks, you really have to understand the person that you have in your midst is Gao Chang. This guy is absolutely persistent and relentless in his determination to get stuff done. And he was on my agenda about every 2 or 3 weeks, bringing me up to date, bringing in some of his friends and cohorts, and just giving us the big talk about why this would be such a great deal. Well, when you see it today, you know he was absolutely right. And I really want to thank everybody that participated, that stuck with this and wasn't deterred by some money issues, some other site issues. It came off, and it's great. I want to thank Mike Hom from the Parks Department, Kathy Coram, you're around here. So there you are, right back there. Thank them. Right, really. Because none of this stuff gets done by yourselves. And partnerships with Commissioner McDonough, partnerships with Senator Fong He, these are kind of relationships that are critically important if you're ever going to get it done. Thank you. Also with us today, I just want to recognize Sheriff Jack Sarir, who happens to be Gao Chang's boss. So let's hear it for the sheriff. And I want the sheriff to know just what kind of a deputy he has working for him. And these are the kind of people that are actually out there in law enforcement today, that they don't just wear the uniform and do that job, they're also really involved in their community because they're there because they love people and want to see people succeed. Thanks again, everyone, for coming out today. It's a beautiful day. I look forward to the demonstration, and I'm tickled pink to be your representative over here on the east side. God bless you all.
I just want to take this back a little bit. We kept saying a few names around, and I think we might have confused some of our audience or ourselves, for that matter. The name of the sport, for those of us that are from Laos, we call it Kato, or Kato in Laos. And in Thai is Takraw. But the international name we use now is Sepak Takraw. It's a combination of Malaysian and Thai name. So Malaysian is Sepak to kick, Thai Takraw, the ball, the woven, traditionally used to be wicker or rattan of a ball, but for conservation purpose, they developed this synthetic fiber, and now that's what we have the balls made of. So the international name now is known as Sepak Takraw, a combination of Malaysian and Thai, the two most dominant countries that are playing the sport at the moment. So again, thank you for coming. And one other mention is Senator Fong have alluded to, and some other guest speakers said we have 5, but you only see 3 here. 3 courts are here on the east side, and 2 are on the north end of St. Paul, on Maryland and Dale. The lake, little lake there, and Parkside, a little park there is called Marydale, right under the railroad and Dale Street. So if you live in that side, the part of town, those are the 2 courts that you could also visit. And one other mention I want to also acknowledge is that we have a lot of new community here, and one of the new community that's very participated or involved in this process is the Quran community. So some of the players are here today too. So. All right, so speak true to our teamwork. We have from our city official, represented from the mayor office, and also from Park and Rec. They're gonna join force in giving acknowledgement for this process. So with that, help me welcome Mike Han from the Park and Rec and Tommy from the mayor's office.
Mayor Melvin Carter. The Director of Intergovernmental Affairs, Nuno mito chidao tuan tape ta shini saka ku happen luto jape signa. So thank you very much for having inviting the mayor's office here. My name is XIONG, and I work for the mayor. My position is I'm the director of intergovernmental affairs, and the mayor sends his apologies. He wasn't able to make it today, but he wants me to share with you that this is a very exciting time, and these kinds of activities and celebrations are exactly what the mayor envisions for our city, creating a place and space that reflects our community and all the new Americans that are coming to St. Paul. He hopes that that the community continues to share with our office the needs and wants of the residents, and that our partners, both at the legislature, at the county, the school board, and our council members will be able to respond and address the needs as they come. He also wants to thank all the partners who are able to bring this together. As you've heard from our previous speakers, there are many people and parties involved in order to make it happen. Donors, funders, the state legislature, our legislative delegation, thanking them, our city council members, our county commissioners, and in particular our city staff from Parks and Recs. And Director Mike Hom will be speaking in a little bit. But because I donate the Director Mike Hom here to a Takraw Parks city St. Paul na. Kini to ning drinking hang a yani mo chi hani mo chi li ka ye ni chung dong ta ni dia bao wo ka dali ni shin yana pia. So but before I hand it over to Director Mike Hom, I just wanted to thank a few people who helped make this possible. And my screen died. So actually, I will let Mike thank them. So once again, thank you very much for having us here. The mayor looks forward to coming and participating and playing on these fields. And if you need anything or have any questions, please direct them to Mike. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Talme, and thank you all for being here at Duluth and Case Recreation Center. I could not be more proud of this project as the Director of Parks and Recreation. In order to have a community that works for all, a city that works for all, you need a recreation program that works for all. And in St. Paul, you need a world-class Sepak Takraw court. And we have that here. So I could not be more proud of that and the partnership that came together to make that possible. I also could not be more proud of the professional staff that comes together to deliver this project and to run facilities like this here every day. I want to they are your Parks and Recreation staff. So the staff here in the blue shirts that are working here, if you could raise your hands and be recognized so people can see who you are. I particularly want to call out the leader of this facility, who will work hand in hand with the community to program this facility as successfully as we have. The Tulu courts, Kong is over there. Kong, can you raise your hand? Thank you so much for the job you do every day and what your team does in bringing facilities and programs here to St. Paul, to the east side of St. Paul, and to the entire community. So with that, I cannot wait to see this facility in action. And I do want to thank one more time the partners that have come together to fund this project. All total, this facility and the facilities over at Marydale Regional Park, or Marydale Park, required over $500,000 of investment. If it was easy to raise that much resource and collaborate, we would do it more. So thank you to the partners that came together to make that possible. The St. Paul Parks Conservancy, the Minnesota Super Bowl Fund, Legacy Grant Fund, the Minnesota Humanities Center of Heritage and Legacy Funds, the St. Paul Neighborhood Star Program, Ramsey County, and Sepak Takraw USA. So thank you to our partners and everyone who came together to make this possible.
Chồng đau mong hòa nâng lòn đau lời mua cho cái kia đau tơ nhon biết tê mua kia chân rê ai tu cái kia chơi mu chỉ in chờ nê chầu mùa hãy nàng ê mua tu hùng đau mà không nâng lù cho uai rong xa chỉ nhớ mong qua muôn đò cho lưu và mong tao lòn biết tên gì về sĩ vật cho nó mua ít ba trả sớ ít tuần nó cho cơ nó mua biết khó về mong tin nhớ tao qua kia mong thiết tao mù nhớ thôn đồ luôn biết tê giải ta tên nên chân rê mù chết thế don't biết tên nó quăng nên muốn trả qua cơ đồ kỳ sinh giờ lọt thở đồ miên nu nó chung chúa ý cho nó trong đầu chia trong tuôn lời tia đây mong ta kê chia chia của một tia để mong buồn nó chúng ta tuôn rê thật thơ một người trâu đó chuột cho nó mong nó có xuân nu xuân mơ tao có đi lên tây nọ tây chữ thì xa là ship quá tê bắc chia trong đàn đàn đê cái chân chỉ một cho bóp chê ship tua chỉ gì mong hai tao nên biết tê lò đời mong kết cho nhẹ họ luôn biết tê cả rong đi lùa luôn nắng luôn lo giờ mong biết tài buồn thu lọt thò cà phê xì luôn cho tan trốn để tê đờ mong thà luôn một tròn cà phê mặc ta nhớ rong nộp từ một tê trời rong cà phê hai hồn từng lo mà đi
เขาเนี่ยควบตาลันเดอร์อยากเก็บหินทัวซอนเดเป้ลุเชิญอยากกระโตยอดรุ่นของเซมโพเซมินโซตากูอยากรู้จักว่าเลยว่านักการเมืองในส่วนสุดตัวเป็นมาชินจิดัว